Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, hello, who do we have here? We have Diane and Sarah and Millie and Dee and Rhonda. Hello. Rhonda said she would be back. And let's see who we have. Victoria, Susie. Nice to see y'all. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlight. Yo. He always says, yo. Hello, Nala. Everybody, good to see y'all. I hope everybody's doing good this evening. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, lady, 7 Up. Welcome. New member. Welcome here. Hello. Great to see you. I hope everybody's doing good. And Heather Mack from Ohio. And Black Skies. Hugs to you, Lady 7 Up. Hugs to you. I am so happy to see you. Everybody wish Millie a happy birthday. And Mouth of the Dirty South. Hello, good to see you. I'm going to put a link down here. And hold on a minute. Boom. You know who you are. You can grab that link right there. Boom. Hey, Robin and Susie. Everybody, welcome. I'm so glad everybody could join me this evening. This is such a sad story that I touched on the other day. Aurora, hello. I am so glad to see everybody. It's not it is hard to believe this stuff is happening and does happen. And I found a few more things out. And actually, there is a little video I would like to play. I found out that Brandon Kendrick went to court today. I got somebody here, and I want y'all to be respectful. Gotta be respectful. Have you?
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm doing.
I think you got a little echo. Have you got one of your YouTubes on or your phone or something?
With everything going on, just
I know.
It's a lot. But I have a lot of. I didn't get to the part where how I knew the other kids so well. And how and the tragic story that they had as well.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to them. Some of them might know you and some of them might not. This is Mouth of the Dirty South. You have a YouTube page, right? Or do you? Do you have a YouTube page?
Yes.
She has a YouTube page, and we'll drop her link if you will. And she informed me today that she knows both the Brandon, Brandon's father, or Brandon.
He passed away, but yes, I did know Big Brandon.
Yeah, and I did check out. His father did pass away, and then she knew Brandon's wife.
My best friend was engaged to Brandon before he passed away.
Yeah, Big Brandon.
And that she called me yesterday, and wanted for me to share some information, and I feel like I can share it with you, and I know that you'll take it because you're compassionate and things like that. So, they loved each other. And he had mental problems.
I heard he had schizophrenia.
Yes, and he had just returned from a mental facility. They changed his medicines 2 days before he left. You're not supposed. That facility should have never let him out. They should have kept him for 2 weeks at least to monitor that mental health. So I'm not exactly sure what started it, I know by the grace of God, Brother Allen was able to get the gun, and how he did it, I don't know, because his hands and arms ended up broken. I mean, but the only people that were left alive were him and his wife, Miss Joan. Uh,
Okay, let me set the stage for them because see, they don't know this. This is what I found out, and then it was I did vet this. So what she come to me and told me because I was wondering like who was in the house and stuff. So what we found out for let me just kind of set this for them. Like those of you that don't know, Brandon he didn't go to the birthday party. There was a birthday party for one of the
for
children.
Colton, yeah, Colton was turning 9. That used to be my next door neighbor.
And he called his wife and demanded that she come home. So when she got home, he shot her and the other and 4 kids. 2 of them
Hmm.
was his, 2 of them was the cousins,
Yes, Jessica.
and and he shot them all in the head. There was a mass
Hmm.
shooting there in Alabama, and I kept
Yeah,
wondering who was in the house, who called, because it said that there was a call from someone in the house.
the
So who
grandmother.
called? So she got with me and she told me, hey, I know both sides. And I told her to get up with me, and we've been talking back and forth all day today. And I knew in my last live that his grandfather, which none of this is his fault, none of this,
Mm-mm.
and his it's a very sad story. So his grandfather, they had a I don't want to call it a vigil. They had a service Friday night at the church, and
Yeah,
one of the other pastors spoke and said they didn't wouldn't get into any of it, but they were there for church.
yeah,
But his grandfather and grandmother um, lived in the house, and Brandon and his wife and the children lived in a garage apartment
yeah,
outside. Now, Brandon come in and got the gun from the grandfather,
yes.
and he wrestled with the grandfather, got the gun, and the grandfather's hand and arm was broke.
And brother Allen's big.
Now,
Brother Allen is a big man.
okay.
He's a minister, and he's very good man. Him very good man.
Mhm.
He was no, he got the. I don't know where the gun come from. I can't. I don't know for sure. I just know that he took it when he was taking it from him to get him to stop. Is when the hands were broken and stuff. From what so I was told from somebody inside that's what
Mhm.
my friend was told by the
Well,
grandmother.
it did say that. I found where it did say he was taking the gun from him, and so that part is true.
And God, God. I mean, I never would have thought he would have done this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Never, like, and uh, there's been so much tragedy. Like Kelsey had lost her mother, couple years and years ago, but not too many years ago actually. But and then those 2 kids that were not his actually watched their father get pew pewed right in front of them in my right next door to my house. That's when we were neighbors by her brother.
Oh no.
So yes, that's when they were like 2 and 4 or 2, yeah, something like that.
Oh
Her
no.
name was Haley and my name's Haley. So
Yeah.
she's my special. She was my little buddy. And um, it was just so sad. And then their mom ended up getting with a guy that wasn't so great, and he did some things. So I took it upon myself to make sure that he wasn't able to touch them kids again.
Mhm.
And I went and beat on their trailer with a bat. And he came out with a machete and said, I'll shove that machete so far up your ass tits it'll come out your mouth.
Oh
He picked
no.
the little 2-year-old girl up and was whipping her with a belt while I was at my sink washing my dishes.
Oh
And I was
no.
like, okay, no, I just cannot do this.
Mm.
I'm 4'10", but I still ain't, no, not no child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it breaks my heart though that it's those little kids. they're with their daddy, though, you know,
Yeah.
and Kelsey's with her mama, and
Because she was so young. She was like 24, right?
hmm yeah, she was
She had
in
been through a lot.
a lot. Bless her
Yeah.
heart,
Yeah, she had been through a lot. And then I was trying to think. I was trying to look here.
and he's been a spoiled brat his whole life.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
he,
mental issues or not, he was getting that. He got the reason he acted like could act like that is because it was you know, his dad was had a hot temper, and especially, you know, they like to fight.
how did his dad die? Do you know?
He had a lot of illnesses. I know that his legs ended up being amputated or something at the end. But he was sick. Big Brandon had been sick for a long time.
Yeah. So,
I'll have to ask her because I don't want to say anything that I don't know that's fact.
no,
Everything
it's
I'm saying
yeah,
is a
it's fine. I wanted to try to keep it, factual and everything
yeah, because
as I could.
I don't want to hurt the family. No, 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 I wouldn't
Yeah,
do that.
no, no. It seems like they've already been through a lot and
And
enough.
it's
So,
gonna continue. And they have a long road to go.
hmm
This is just the beginning.
so it must have been a real shock to you when you heard it.
I was on the phone with my best friend whenever she got the phone call that her ex stepson just did this. Like, and she was like, oh my God, little Brandon just shot his whole family. I said, do what? And she hung up the phone. And then, like, after she calmed down, you know, she called me back. And then it was the next day she called me back, and she was still hysterical. So it took her, but she wanted me to understand that, like, everybody's bashing her on Facebook because she's taken up for him.
Hmm.
Um, and where she's coming from is he did love his wife, and then he just had mental issues, like, and but I think she was wanting to leave.
The
Have
girl,
you
yeah, I read where
on her
she,
Facebook?
yeah, on her Facebook, I read that she was trying to leave, and you know,
It's
it said,
hard.
yeah, it's hard that she was trying to leave and get away from him, and but yet when they were in pictures and stuff, they looked like such a happy family and
And
everything.
that's how they were. They would fight, and she would want to, get rid of him, and or him. You know, they'd break up, and then like they'd be right back together. I mean, it just
It said that she would come to work and she would cry because she didn't know what to do.
hmm
Um, and you know,
I feel she was controlled because there's so much. I'll have to tell you some things like in private because there's just some. But that whole group, the group of men in Alabama, uh, that cut trees and things like that. And that's what they're rough on women.
mhm,
They don't, and I'm not speaking for every one of them, but I know all of them. And a lot of them do not have a ounce of respect, and they think that
mhm. They think
abuse
it's
is
okay.
okay. hmm
Mhm,
Yeah, and it's not, and and you can't get in the middle of it because they'll turn on you, you know.
mhm, mhm.
But these are people I do know, and if and I don't know them as well as others do, but they know them very. I've got close friends that know them very well, like especially the pastor. And he's, you know, everybody's just the whole community's tore up. I moved to Louisiana, but I mean everybody that I know talked to is just like in shock.
Yeah, yeah,
This was not like never would have been guessed that that would have been something that would have happened. It would any not
do you think, it's not the pastor's fault or anything, and I know that was his grandson, but do you
mm,
think she ever went to them as a way to try to get out or anything and talk to them and was ever counseled by them? Or do you think she held it in and was afraid to because they were family and
yes, they boom right there, and
mhm,
they are like I said. women, or
They wouldn't do it because, yeah.
because
I
that's their grandson, and she's and I mean, and he's lost his son, and that and I just I don't know, but
you
my
just,
best friend, who she keeps saying that when he finally realizes what he done, she don't think that he's come to and realized what he's done. Oh, he does, but she thinks he's going to unalive himself. And it could be a possibility, But I mean, I
yeah,
know when you're laying there in jail. I mean, I know just for a DUI, I was just like, I felt like my world ended. But I can imagine
yeah.
when you wake up and those kids were only there spending the night just to see him because he had been out of town and they were glad to see him. I mean, he was good with kids. This is it's so tragic.
It is very tragic. Um,
So do you know? I didn't know. I don't. I was so much busy doing. I'm doing a live tonight on the Jennings 8, like some updates about the 8 women from Louisiana that were never their killer was never found, and this has been 10 years. It's crazy. But I'm doing that, so I've been trying to find information on that and talk back and forth. So I didn't really know anything about the court case today. Did they give
oh,
him
let
time?
me, oh yeah, let me play that. It's just a short news thing. Let me pull that up. Hold on just a minute. Sorry, hold on just a minute.
Okay.
See, I didn't get to hear all of it, but I had just found it a minute ago. I was like, wow. Hold
They
on.
have to give him a 72-hour hearing, I think, in Alabama. I know.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me
Details
get
of
it
this
up here.
case are just so disturbing. Prosecutors say 32-year-old Brandon Kendrick shot
Wait a
and
minute.
killed his
Oh, sorry.
wife, his 2 children, and 2 other children with a 9-millimeter gun. The youngest
Oh,
of
where
these
did it
children
go?
was just 2
I got
years
us on the
old.
stage.
Your West
Can y'all
Alabama
hear it
reporter
though?
Brian Henry getting us new
Hmm.
information as the suspect appeared in that Bibb County courtroom.
Well, Sarah Morgan, the arraignment was shown on a very small computer screen inside a courtroom on the first floor here at the Bibb County Courthouse. You see behind me, you saw and heard attorneys on both sides and capital murder suspect Brandon Kendrick as well. The arraignment lasted all of 5 minutes, with the prosecution reading the disturbing allegations. Brandon Kendrick faces 5 counts of capital murder. While Kendrick sat nearby on the screen at the Bibb County Jail, the state read the charges one by one. All 5 victims were shot in the head with a 9mm. Brandon Kendrick's wife, Kelsey, 24 years old, and 2 of their children, and 2 relatives who were also children. The ages of the children ranged from 2 to 9.
And mayor of a municipality, when you hear something like that happening anywhere, it's a shock.
Not only a shock to Centerville Mayor Mike Oakley, but this is the second time in 2 years Bibb County has endured a high-profile murder. June 30th, 2022, Deputy Brad Johnson shot and killed in the line of duty while responding to a suspect
Just
on the
like
run.
4 hours
And
ago, I
now
believe.
5 people were shot dead last week in West Blockton. Mayor Oakley couldn't help but think of one thing: the unexpected often happens, no matter where you live.
This kind of stuff doesn't just happen in big uh, urban areas. It actually can happen in happy rural places.
Yeah, Bibb County is country.
To innocent
I
children.
just heard
During the
earlier that
arraignment,
that's a
Brandon Kendrick didn't
bad
say a
jail,
word,
bad
Forest
place
didn't
to
Town.
at
be.
once, and put his hands over his face.
Good old
The
voice
judge
system.
found enough probable cause to continue the case. The next court date is set for September 26th, which will be Brandon Kendrick's preliminary hearing. 2 high-profile fatal
September
shootings in 2
26th.
years in Bibb County. Both are still a talker in these parts.
So,
The case ruled no
There's
bond for
only
Brandon Kendrick and was escorted back to his cell here in Bibb County. In Bibb County, Brian Henry, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
I wonder if they have him in protective custody.
I'm not sure. Somebody said they didn't think, or they said yes, that they would in the jail, but probably not when he went to the prison. So I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
Yeah, the prison, they're right by each other. And they call
Yeah,
that prison's bad. They call it Bloody Bibb.
yeah. So he would probably be, right now, he probably will be in protective custody, but when he probably goes to the prison, he probably won't be. So I don't know.
When he was just reading that
Wow.
about the victims and I was just, oh my god, it still hadn't hit me that them little Haley and Colton is what just gets me.
Yeah. And then the the other two was there because the mother was going to have surgery, is what they said.
Hmm.
So that makes it all the more sad,
Hmm.
for them, because you think, woulda, shoulda, coulda, if I hadn't of,
Hmm.
I can't imagine. I just really can't
Yeah.
imagine. So,
And nobody knows how it transpired, but the people in the house, and I'm that's his grandson. He's I'm sure he's talked to some people, but he's been pretty, from what I understand, broken up.
yeah,
Uh,
that's what they said at the church, and I can understand
I can
that,
understand that, and
and I'm sure he is. That's his great grandkids,
oh
and
yeah,
you know, I mean, to
I
see
saw where
someone.
he posted something on Facebook that he put a picture of the grandkids and said, "My babies."
Hmm. I mean, that had to be horrifying for him, and I'm sure he loved her too.
Oh
And
God, yeah.
he had to have a lot of compassion, and his whole life, him and his wife's whole life, had to be blown up that day.
Oh yeah,
You know.
and it was just there. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine. Now they have to. I couldn't live in that house.
Oh, and yeah, and that's another thing. You have to go out, and I just could. They've probably not got any sleep at all. You know.
Mm-mm.
You
I
know.
mean, they could, there's no way they could. I
Yeah.
don't think. But I'm gonna I I have a couple other people that are in the family too that I was waiting to hear from. Which one of them is the other kid's mother and step that we didn't get along, but they reformed themselves. So
Yeah.
I was like, I
Well, tell me, what did you think Brandon was like when every time that you got to see him, or when was the last time that you got to see him? Can you tell me?
mm, I about 2021, I guess. Um, when they came to her aunt's house. He had just got out of jail,
Hmm.
and he was just cool. I mean, they get to drinking. They'd argue. They're young. They were young, and they acted young.
Yeah, but wasn't he like 10 years older than her or something?
Yeah, but he didn't act like it.
Yeah, yeah. He just had a mind. Okay, so he
Hmm.
he was in the mindset of a younger guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that probably went along with his mental health issues and
Hmm.
stuff.
And
But
that area, the whole area it's so boring and rural that there's nothing like the whole. There's so many drugs. Everybody's on drugs there.
yeah.
I mean, if you've ever heard the podcast S Town Shit Town, it's
Hmm.
about that. And the guy that Tyler that was in that story, he was shot and killed by the Bibb County Police.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, and then sometimes you get so bored, all you can do is drink and drug, and that probably wasn't
poverty, so
good.
much poverty.
Yeah, and it wasn't good for mixing your medicines and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
And like you said, and that's a fact. A serious medicine like that,
Like
um,
schizophrenia medicine, yes.
yeah, and they're gonna have to, if they change it, they're gonna have to watch. And if you're on 2 or 3 medicines, they're gonna have to watch and see what's working and what's not.
I don't hide nothing about myself. I had to stay in a mental health facility because of my medicines, and they would not let me go until they for 2 weeks because they had to see how it would react,
Yeah.
because it'd be on them, if I went out and went crazy.
Yeah. And mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh no, I'm not. I've learned to own it because it's so much more talked about, and it needs to be talked
It
about more
needs to
because
be.
because there's a
Absolutely.
lot of people that are in jail that are really just mentally ill.
Yeah.
That just need help. I mean, just have they ever had the cops called on them before? Oh, I'm sure. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it's been. He was in and out of jail, and they both had issues throughout the year. So I don't know about the cops, but I know they have had some breakups.
Yeah. Now, it's a capital case. I'm sure they're going to go for, I'm sure they will. Y'all have death penalty in Alabama, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah, I'm sure they will go for, I mean, this is 5
Bibb County
capital.
will.
Yeah, they're probably going to shoot for, I mean, it's cut and dry unless they can say he's mentally unstable and unless they're
But
going to say,
I could understand that, but after the after the first victim, when it's your
yeah,
wife, you just snapped out and said, "Hold on, what am I doing? What am I
yeah,
doing?"
they're going to have to get a whole lot of evaluations and stuff, and he's going to have to, some that just don't work like it used to.
Mm-mm,
I don't know.
mm-mm,
I can't say for sure. I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, but
mm-mm.
you know, they're going to go for it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, because a lot of times mental health is drug induced as well, especially if
Yes. Yeah.
you're on meth and you have psychosis.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing with schizophrenia and the medications and stuff. If
Hmm.
you go into a psychosis, then you know
There's God
you're not
knows.
always in the psychosis, is what I'm trying to say. So
Hmm. And they don't even realize they're in it.
yeah, yeah. So
It's scary, but I'll jump down from here, and I've got to
yeah.
get ready for this. If I even do it tonight, I might change it for tomorrow.
Okay.
But
Well, y'all put
I'll
her.
get some more information, and I'll email it to you
Well,
as
thank
I
you
can.
so much.
You're
Uh,
welcome. I
I
just don't.
appreciate you. Yeah, let me know that. And I got
I'd
it.
rather you cover it than anybody else because I know it'll be with integrity.
Yeah, I try to, even for the suspects, like I told you today. I
Mhm.
mean, you've seen the interviews I've done and stuff with Don
Mhm.
and everybody. You know, I try to be fair. I always like to say fair and balanced, even though if I think they're monsters, and I hate to put it that way, but no
Mhm.
matter
Yeah,
what
I mean it
I
is what it
try to
is.
give everybody the respect. I do. I still do.
Mhm.
And that's just me. I want to hear the whys and stuff. My audience may not. They're like, oh, sometimes they're tough, but I
Mhm.
do. I think
Mhm.
everybody, it's like I told one of my mods one time, listen, people don't get to the ID channels and hear the stories if
Mm-mm.
we don't get to know the whys and the ins and outs.
Mhm. And the victims
And I have,
and the suspects.
yeah. And then they understood why I do what I do and how I do it. And that's just the way it is.
Just like you were the first one to talk to was his Chris Prophet. Um,
I wasn't the first
don't
one,
follow
but
that case because
yeah,
Summer's case is the only one that I really, and these Jennings girls, just I'm
yeah,
all about the South, like unsolved, mysterious, corruption everywhere,
yeah, yeah,
everywhere. Um,
absolutely.
oh, it's bad, it's bad, and Bibb County is one of them.
Yeah.
One of the sheriffs, or the chief of the sheriff, one of them, whatever, blew his brain,
Hmm.
in the right there at the desk because of all the stuff that was fixed to come out when S Town came out.
Hmm.
All the money though, and oh Lord, it was
Well,
bad.
you wouldn't know if people didn't bring it out. A lot of people don't care about this stuff, but if
Hmm.
people didn't bring it out and talk about it, and a lot of people are scared to because it's the cops and stuff. But if and
I
the cops are not bad, but if you didn't bring it out, people wouldn't know. I'm not going to be
mm-mm.
hushed.
No, and everybody, then the only people that I care about in Alabama that's got what is the family. Anybody else that is, but nobody, everybody else is like, Haley, you need to do this. Haley, you need to, bring awareness but everybody's wanting me to demean him, and I can't just do that until I know the whole story of what exactly is going on.
Yeah.
Until I know exactly what happened. I was even told something about, and this is, I don't believe this to be true at all, but something about over marijuana money.
Mhm.
I don't, I surely to God that, but they both like to smoke a lot.
So they're saying it's a possibility there was a fight over that or something?
That's what it started. I read, but it was in the on Kelsey's Facebook, and I was like, I don't think that that could. I think it was because of her being maybe distant, or
Yeah. I know I was reading some weird kind of posting, and of course this was even going back a couple of years on his Facebook,
mm-hmm.
because I don't know, people could get into stuff if you're just not friends with him or whatever. So I don't think he's posted in a while that I know of, but maybe it's because I'm not his friend or something. But
I don't think I hadn't seen
yeah,
post.
he had some kind of weird stuff, like, well, you know what it is. It's just kind of weird stuff, like
Mhm.
he wanted the love or attention or whatever.
Yeah,
He
his mom wasn't.
Yeah,
I'm not going to speak on her, but yeah,
it's okay. So it's just really weird. Um,
he didn't have a good mother, and his dad was his life, and then,
yeah. So do you think you said he was doing the marijuana. Do you think it was like something else different than that though?
I I hope not. And everybody swears that he didn't do it. I know she didn't.
Hmm. Yeah.
So um, I don't. It's really hard to say with him because they said he hadn't been at the party,
Yeah.
or she hadn't. One of them hadn't been at the party.
It was him. Why? Okay. Why do you think he didn't go to the party? That's
I
kind of,
own that.
yeah.
That could have been why that he could have been. Um,
I mean, I know I'm just asking you to guess at this point. I was just wondering.
it could have been a. I don't. I mean, it didn't have anything to do with the family. I don't think unless it was he had something going on with her side of the family that. But I don't think so.
Can I ask you one question? And I know you said you want to jump down. Okay,
Yeah.
so and I hate to even, because I don't want to hurt nobody's feeling, or not
Mhm.
you. Like, this is touchy subject. I get nervous when I ask these questions. So,
It's okay.
okay, so he fought with his grandpa. He killed his wife and the children and even the cousins, all unfortunately in the head.
Mhm.
Why?
Execution.
Yeah, so why do you think he left his grandma and grandpa alive? In your
Uh,
opinion, or what's the talk, the rumor on that?
I maybe they were in a different part of the house, and it was because it was a big house,
Mhm.
and his granddad he had every intention on everybody in that house going. I guess he was making his way to them, and Brother Allen, like I says, he's a big man, and he could it, but apparently he had some strength in him that his little Brandon had some strength in him that day, and I don't know, but for by the grace of God, he was able to stop him.
Why do you think he didn't take his life?
I want to say that he wasn't all there in the head. Like I don't, like maybe he had blacked out. Like I've heard of a lot of cases like he was schizophrenic, and that's why my friend saying when he comes to and realizes like after he's been there for a couple of days what he did, that it's probably gonna.
That's what they're worried for.
Yeah, she was hysterical yesterday.
Mhm.
because everybody was just like, not understanding. And well, I mean, 4 children just got their lives lost, and a woman, and you know, come on.
Mm-hmm. She said there was somebody in Alabama that did the exact same thing and was underneath meth and
Mm-hmm.
psychosis, and they did all that and took
Yeah, I
it.
remember him. I forgot his name. They lived in down south Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. This is just a devastating case. I really appreciate you telling
No
me
problem.
that.
And the more that comes out, that I can. I'm sure it'll all come out.
It will. It will. Yeah, his name was Derek Dearman. Oh, I'll have to
Yeah,
look
that's
it
him.
up. Thank you. Wow, this makes me want to cry. It's so sad.
It is so sad. And
Yes.
they do have a GoFundMe for the
Yeah.
funeral. They
No,
have.
pick it back up again for me, please, if you
I
will.
will. I will send it to you. They've raised $17,000 so far.
Yeah, Millie's got it. She's gonna put it up again.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna
We've
keep
been
it.
putting it up. We put it up the other night too, and I encourage everybody, even if it's $1 or $5,
Yeah,
whatever.
anything helps, y'all.
Everything it adds up. It adds up, and you know, I know this case is so heartbreaking, and I know, the other day I did call him a monster, and I do. I mean,
I
anybody.
mean, it's what it looks like. I mean,
But
outside
you
look.
know what? But it's sad. Anybody that I didn't know he had schizophrenia the other day too,
Right.
either. But you know what? You know what? Again, it is heartbreaking. And you know what? I know all about mental illness. And you know what? I don't know. I don't even want to judge somebody with mental illness.
Because I have,
It's hard.
I have to take medicine every day, but nothing like that. I just, I have depression and anxiety. I maintain it and take my medication
Uh-oh. I just took it back down.
and
Yeah. But no, it does not excuse it, Bailey. No, it does
no.
not. No, it does not excuse it. Absolutely does not.
And I don't think that they're going to let him play that card with it being so
No,
many victims.
no. And no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it makes me so sad.
Uh-huh.
It makes me so sad. I told her, did I not tell you in the email today
Mm-hmm.
that I think he's a monster and I want the truth out and I want nothing but the truth?
Mm-hmm. And I believe that
Yeah, but
I believe that.
but didn't I say I still want to know? I said I want to know. I want to know, and I will
Mm-hmm.
be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
I said that in my email. I can show you. I said
Yeah,
that.
she did. She did. And it's very sinister.
No, listen, I have said time and time again, there's no excuse for anything that somebody does for a child. That's one thing I can't
Mm-mm.
roll with. I can't roll with that.
And if somebody wants to leave you, find somebody else.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah. You don't, yeah. Sorry.
You know?
I'll put up and in fact, please put up the mental
Mm-hmm.
awareness hotline too, domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do that when we have these kind of talks. Um,
Anybody that's triggered, I'm sorry, but I had to. I didn't even think about all that. I've just got it going through my head about all I keep seeing is them kids' faces.
yeah. Oh my God. And I can't even imagine. I can't.
Like, what were they thinking? Like, oh my God! Like, it keeps playing.
Yeah, I keep thinking when stuff like this happens,
Like they already saw their dad.
yeah, and one sees one happen to one, and then the other sees the other, and it's like,
Like Chris Watts' daughters. Like, when they one of them didn't one of them asked him, "Are you gonna do that to me, Daddy?"
yes, yes, it is heartbreaking, heartbreaking.
These kids will be missed. Kelsey will be missed. I'm sure that his family will miss him too. But
And then you got them going back to school and their little friends in school, and you know the empty desk and
Yeah, and
the
to know how it
teacher.
happened, and
Hmm. Yeah. Um, okay, so let's see here. You got, let me see. You got a 2-year-old, a 6-year-old, a
mm-hmm.
9-year-old. What was the other one? It was two
2
6-year-olds,
6-year-olds.
two 6-year-olds because they were cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had their two, and then they had two cousins.
Yeah, Haley and her oldest child were the same age, and then Colton was turning 9.
Yeah, and because they had the birthday party just a few days before his
Mm-hmm.
actual birthday,
Yeah.
which is so sad. You know, here they are having fun at a birthday party. He calls the mother and demands they come home.
Mm-hmm.
And she does. Hey, Nana. I just don't know, Nana.
I
It's
don't
sad,
either.
sad world.
I'm like you. I want to find out why he didn't go to the party, and I'm going to find that out.
Yeah, that would be something good to know. You know,
Because those kids wanted to go see him, is why they went and spent the night over there.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because he had been away. He had been in Texas.
yeah. Let's see. She said, I personally think that the children were old enough to even I personally think the children were old enough to understand exactly what was happening, and it's happened so quickly that they never had a chance to comprehend what was going. I hope not.
I
I
hope
hope.
not either, but I'm just saying with the other 2 kids that watched their dad get pew-pewed right in front of them, they may have.
Yeah, see, two of the kids already saw that happen to their dad right in front of them. Their
In
their
2021, right next door to my house.
Yeah. See, that already happened to two of those. So that might have been a flashback, and then they have to leave this world seeing that with their other family members.
And there's something, I'm gonna let this much out. Um, there is something about where the bodies were found
Mm.
that my best friend can't even get it out of her mouth to tell me. Like, so I don't know. I don't know. And when I find out, it may be something I can just tell you, and just it'd have to be confidential, because
Okay.
for her, it had her worked up, like,
Oh no.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like, but I know it was I know he did Kelsey first, and I just don't know. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even want to think about what he said to his kid, or if he said anything, but all of them in the head.
Yeah, that was brutal right there. That was brutal.
Uh,
That was
like, it seems like almost premeditated,
yeah, I mean, like he had it planned when they got home.
like calling her
Exactly.
to come home, and
And somebody said in the chat, what was it?
like, if I can't have you, nobody will, type thing.
Yeah. That's one thing people don't understand. When you're grown, you cannot get people in the mental health. Well, and another thing. Hey, Ruby. Um, that's another thing that they don't understand. A lot of times, and it's a problem with the healthcare, and it's a problem with getting turned away.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem with getting turned away. If somebody agrees to go in or is willing to go in, it's not even so much as that they don't have a bed. They may have
Mm-hmm.
a bed, but they say, well, you don't meet the criteria.
Yep.
Well, how in the hell do you not meet the criteria if you know you're having a mental meltdown and what
Mm-hmm.
your body's telling you you're capable of?
Yeah.
How about we need to change that?
Mm-hmm. I agree. This. Oh my gosh.
So I think there lies one of the problems.
Big time. Big time.
Um, country, crickets, he just got out of the hospital, a couple of days before that?
2 days. 2 days before it happened, he got. He. I think he did it the day he got out of the hospital, or the
Okay.
day after,
The day he got out of the hospital?
or either that day or the day after, because um they had changed his medicine, and he had only been taking that medicine for 2 days before they let him out. So
And
yeah,
see, he should have never, they should
they
have
should have
kept him
never
longer to
released
see
him.
if his medicine was working because they
Mhm.
just gave him a new medicine.
Mhm. That's on.
Yeah. So that's one of the issues I think too is, they need to at least monitor it, if not 2 weeks, they need to at least make it a week because that's
Yeah.
2 days is not enough time.
Mm-mm. I mean, look what happens. And not to say that's the case. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it'll. What's done in the dark will always come out in the light.
Hmm.
It's just the whole tragedy, the whole family, the tragedy in that family on both sides is like mind blowing,
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Oh, wow. Fun to ski. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's just a big issue. I think it's a problem.
They need and then they're giving everybody like, I'm a Republican. I like my gun that I'm legally able to have, but some people that if you don't know how to use them, and like my dad taught me how, don't. They're 17-year-old children, 15-year-old children don't need them. People who have a history of violence do not need them.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and he's always been hot headed, just never beat on her or nothing. But they would argue because she didn't take no shit at all. She did not. She
Yeah.
was not no like, that's why I'm surprised. But when somebody's got a gun to your, it's a whole different ball game.
Well, and yourself, that trigger can be pulled quick. And,
Mhm.
you know, that's probably why he did her first. I mean,
Mhm.
you know,
So she,
and
I mean, but then why the kids? If you're problem,
and and exactly, that's what I don't get.
and then he was going after the old papa with him too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was making his way that way. That's from what I understand.
Now, and I heard that that was my whole question. That's how you got to me and I got to you.
Mhm.
Is I kept wondering who was in the house,
Mhm.
and it was either his grandma or his uh, papa that called the police saying, and
Mhm.
I read it in the news that someone within the house said
Yeah.
the first shot was fired, that one of the kids was, 111, you know,
Yeah.
so that's who it was then.
Mhm.
And it confirmed that.
Yeah.
Sad, sad.
Very sad, and it's
So,
gonna be they have a long. It's gonna be a long time to. A lot of people are gonna be hurt for a long time.
yeah. And Sarah's right. Why anyone, honestly? Why?
Mhm.
And again, that's the thing. Why did he call her home to do that? Was he in psychosis? And again,
Mhm.
did the cops, when they called, did they get there and stop him from shooting the grandparents? But
I,
again, I can't figure,
I can't.
why did he not take his life? I'm not.
I'm not. I don't understand that either. Like, unless the story is true that Papa got the gun, but with broke hand and broke arms, I don't get that. Like, if he didn't take his own life, like even Chris Benoit that did that, the wrestler that did that to his family, couldn't stand it once he realized what he did.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
he realized
realize
what
what
he did.
she's saying, right? She's saying that I mean, it's not confirmed, but she's saying that the grandpa fought with him to get the gun. So his hand or his arm or whatever is what she's heard is allegedly broke. So we're wondering if the cops got there, just in time.
Fun to ski. Yes, you were correct on that. They had a lot. They did a lot of hunting. That family did. And I don't see how he had a gun anyway. Because I mean, from what I understood, he was a felon. So if it wasn't his, it had to have been his granddad's, or one he had not legal.
Yeah. And it very well could have been one not legal,
Yeah, it's kind of like that. That we gotta figure out that timeline of what it'll all go back. Why didn't he go to the party? Why didn't he call? Why did he call her home? What went on at that point?
Yeah, he could have just very well got that within those hours.
Mm-hmm.
Did he go anywhere? I mean, they'll find all that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in jail now, Bailey. In the Bibb County jail.
And they're so backwoods you can't look it up on like a jail roster. You have to call, but if you call,
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He don't have court again until September. What they say, the 27th, I believe.
26,
26, like that. Yeah. He's not going anywhere.
I don't think he'll be going anywhere, but maybe to the prison next door.
Yeah.
If they let him stay that close to home.
Oh, yeah, because when you go to prison, they can transfer you anywhere they choose within, the state. And now how many brothers and sisters does he have? Like, does he have quite a
I've
bit?
always heard of just little Brandon.
Okay. So even if he don't have a big family, if he has any family, they'll make it hard. They don't care about the family either. They'll make it hard for anybody, friends, family, to go see him. So they'll probably move him as far, and especially after what he did, they're not going to be trying to make it easy on anybody.
No.
So he probably won't go next door. Matter of fact, they'll probably have him so far the furthest drive in Alabama they can.
Probably have. Maybe where's the lowest? What's the prison that's furthest away from where he would be?
Holman.
Holman.
Atmore.
Holman and Atmore.
That's death row.
Further. Okay.
They said that's death row.
He'll start out at Kilby because it's processing.
Yeah, they all go to this place called Kilby.
And
they
then you got St. Clair, which is you got St. Clair, Bibb, and Holman, which is maximum security, and you got West Jefferson,
which
they're all death row. And
and
hey, I know that dirty girl with behind the wall down there too.
And matter of fact, hey, Cher, and matter of fact, they'll probably try to get him on death row too, but yeah, they might send him.
But see, Granddaddy's got a lot of money.
It don't matter what they got. The best he could do is go to the crazy house, a mental institution, and spend the rest of his life. But I doubt it.
I doubt he makes it.
He don't deserve it.
See, that's my husband. He don't have no good. He just tells it how it is.
Right.
He don't deserve it. We ain't from Alabama.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully, oh my gosh, hopefully it won't be no long drawn out trial.
It can't be. Yeah, Mr. Dirty Mouth. Cher's my girl now. Somebody had made a video about somebody talking about her today. I done got on there and I was like, well, first of all, Cher don't even mention y'all, so that made oh gosh. I was like,
Mr. Dirty Mouth.
Mr. Dirty Mouth went to his recliner where he belongs.
So was he a felon for that opening up another box of reasons?
Yeah, I believe so, because I mean he'd been to jail a lot of times. Like I said, when I met Kelsey for the first time, he was in jail.
Mm-hmm. But was he of age then, or no?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he
Yeah,
was.
like
Yeah,
he's
he's older than her. Yeah,
she
he's
was
older.
young in 2021. She was barely 20. As a matter of fact, her 21st birthday is when I met her. On her 21st birthday, because her cousin Jessica, my neighbor, had the party for her on her 20. I remember that because she got pulled over that night. Yeah, drinking.
Yeah. Well, that's a fun way to start your 21st birthday.
Well, they let her go. Because as long as somebody come got her, because she was just right down the road from the house.
Yeah.
But very young. Yeah, it's just so. Ugh. Like, what in the world is going on with our world?
Yeah, he did try to stop him, and possibly got a broke hand from doing so.
Two broke hands and two broke arms.
Yeah. So, he did try to stop him. But you got to realize that is his grandson too.
Tomorrow, if I can talk her into it, if she's calm, I'll get her. She doesn't know how to work YouTube and all that, but I'll get her to call in, and maybe my parent, the stepmom, and maybe she'll be able to. She knows all the, for sure. She's the one that told me about that, and she wouldn't lie about that. She would never lie about that. She has very much love and respect for that family.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
his granddad's a preacher too, y'all. He has a church called Oasis of Praise in Bessemer.
Yeah. They were saying that he they had a thing, like I said, Friday night. I read that in my live. I think it was yesterday. It was really heartbreaking. And I read the quotes that the other pastor said, and they didn't really want to go into it, but they said he was having a really, really, really hard time. And I really felt bad because I mean none of it's his fault, and you can't blame the families. You can't blame anybody for what somebody else does.
No, and if what I've been told is true, I have a friend that unallowed a man for sleeping with his wife before, and from I don't know this to be true, but she was very unhappy if you go back to Facebook, within probably about a week ago or 2 weeks before it started. That's when the post started about wanting to get, or maybe a month about wanting to go.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm gonna get back on, find out. I just hate talking to people when they're crying, and
I know.
And there's nothing you can do, and I'm gonna find out more. The more as the days go by, I'm the type of person I don't want to ask a lot of questions until they're told to me, And
it's hard. It's hard unless they're, on something like this. It's really hard,
because you don't know if you're going to say the wrong thing, and but my prayers are just going out to everybody involved. Even even him, even everybody. Because the devil is taking control of this country, this world, and God needs to come back home, like the song says. I mean, it's my theme song, that Struggle Jennings song. That it's so true because it's
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is, and it's sad. It's sad. You wake up every day and, something is
hell,
unbelievable.
the day they shot Trump, they just had a mass shooting in Birmingham. It's several
I
different locations.
know. I know. And, I think the day
And my
before
ex-husband's a
that,
Birmingham cop.
yeah. And I think the day before that, I was just talking about something similar to this, but it had just happened in 2014. And then I wake up and see this, and I'm like,
Mhm.
people's asking me, like, did this just happen? Yes, it happened Thursday. It
Yeah.
happened Thursday. This is real, y'all. This is like recent. This is what our world is coming to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, And it says this stuff is happening. It says this in the Bible. I'm not trying to bring in the Bible and all that, but it says it. The end of times.
It's
Parents,
all happening.
children. It is coming. It is coming at the end of the world. That's what it says plainly.
We've never had a hurricane in June at Category 5 ever.
I know.
Ever. You're from we're both Gulf Coast.
Yeah, I survived
If it
my
don't hit y'all, it'll hit
area.
us. It's just Katrina being.
And you did Katrina. Yeah. I mean,
I
yeah.
wasn't in New Orleans, thank God. I was in Baton Rouge, but they all every New Orleans moved here. It was like,
Yeah.
and I hope we don't have to go through that again.
I never want to go through it again. Never.
My dream's to move to the beach. My husband's sister lives in Destin, and we're going in August for his birthday, and we need that.
Yeah.
We definitely need that because we hadn't been, like last time we went. We like to go to just sit on the beach and listen to the Grateful Dead and chill. Just go.
Nothing like it.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. I saw it right here.
Okay, yeah, they go. But y'all keep. I gotta jump down here because it's getting late, and I'm thinking I'm gonna cancel my live and try
All
to
right.
figure some things out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And if you like I said, if I find anything out in just a few minutes, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Thank you, girl.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you
Good
for
night.
having me up here.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was nice. Hey, Murder Candy Podcast. What happened to you, near you? Not going to say much, but he is claiming mental defect insanity already. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I don't think that's going to work. What are your thoughts on that? Did you want to come up here? You can come up here as well. I think this is sad. Hold on just a minute. I got company and I think they're like, there. Okay, I think they're calm now. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, no. I don't think he's insane. Hold on. Yes, he appeared in court today and pled not guilty by reason of insanity. Oh, he said it by reason of not insanity. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Um this happened near me, not going to say much. Okay. He appeared in court today. He's not insane. I don't think that will pass. Um, it is devastating. Um, let's see. Hello, Blondie. Hello, everybody. I appreciate everybody coming in. Yeah, I did kind of expect he would probably try that. I think it's very, very sad, though. I do. It is a beautiful family. It was a beautiful family. Hey, Jody Ann. It rocked the whole community. It absolutely did. And, I'm thankful that somebody did get to come up here and talk about that. Again, I don't know what went wrong. I don't know the whys and what went wrong. According to them, it was a 2-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old. Actually, it was two 6-year-olds. And now, one of the news reports said it happened at 10 p.m. and one of them said it happened at 8. I don't know which news report was correct or not. I like to get the facts kind of straight. But I don't know if it was a 2-hour event. I don't know what happened. I don't know. So it was at 8. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Because I like to try to keep facts as straight as possible, especially on something like this. I really do. I just think it's so horrific. It's so horrific. And I don't want any misinformation out about this at all. I don't want to hurt the family in any kind of way, or the friends in any kind of way, or that community in any kind of way. This is too important. Yep, I did see that where he called her to come home, and she got home, and that's where he did it. Do you have any idea what his motive may have been? I mean, have you heard talk of what his motive may have been? In your opinion, drugs. That's what Haley was saying. That's what she was assuming as well. It's sad. It always usually comes down to that. Oh, you're welcome. I really think it's important that we all are very considerate of all them. They've still all got to be in shock. And I think it hurt the entire community and the entire friends and the entire family of all sides. And to find out, again, it does not excuse it, but to find out that he had mental illness, it's not going to work, and it's no excuse. There's no excuse. But mental illness, if you've never dealt with it, it's hard, but it's hard on the families, and it's hard for the people that love people with mental illness. And it's a whole nother ball game. And it comes in many, many forms. some very minor, and some major. But it does not change the fact that you love the people that you love with mental illness. And it is heartbreaking and terrifying. That is correct. And thank you, Dandy Linus. And I don't know, it's just hard. But Cooper said he was on 15 medications, but why would anyone let him around children? That is all I ask. I'm not trying to blame, I promise. No, it's understandable. Well, okay, well, it's kind of like this. I'm going to put it like this. I had open heart surgery when I was 41 years old. I didn't have I promise you, I didn't have a problem in this world. I don't mind talking about my health. I didn't have anything. Matter of fact, I was shocked to death when I went in. They had missed it. I had went to the ER a month prior, and this whole month I'm running around for XYZ and had so much blood. In fact, I could have probably sued the hospital, but whatever. Long story short, get around. The only reason I had to go over to 45 minutes away a month later, because I was so sure it was my liver. It wasn't my liver. Your liver enzymes go up when you have a heart attack or something, but whatever. Long story short, I'm trying to answer your question. Get over there, and the doc. In fact, I had so much blood draw for me the whole month. The very next day, I was supposed to have a liver biopsy, but they wanted to send me, because of my insurance, I had to wait till I could get in and see this heart doctor. I get over there, and they said, oh my God, I had to bring my records and stuff from this ER. Oh my God. First of all, you had 2 abnormal EKGs. Here, let me show you, and I think I know what's wrong with you, but I got to do one more test. Well, okay. What they wanted to do was a heart cath, and I'm like, well, okay, whatever. And in the meantime, they're preparing for that. I go outside and I call my mom, long distance. I'm like, they want to do a heart cath, but I don't know. I got this liver biopsy tomorrow. What would you do? She said, well, I think I would listen to my doctors. And I said, okay, whatever. So I go in there and get the heart cath. They tell me, you can't go anywhere. You're not getting off this table. We got to send you over to 2 more hours away to get this open heart surgery. Your main spider web, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there and I am in shock, and I'm thinking, I'm laying, I'm not sitting nowhere. And I'm like, I can't do this. I got to be at work at 2:00. I got to get my kids were smaller. I'm like, I got to get it. And they're like, honey, you ain't going nowhere. We got to get you an ambulance to do this, to do it. I had no choice. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. In other words, and I was a lot skinnier then. I'm like, I had no high blood pressure. I had no high cholesterol. I had this, that, nothing. Anyway, mine was caused from stress and smoking, and that happened. What I'm trying to say is, when I come out of that hospital, I bet you I had 20 medications I had to take. Shit you not. Shit you not. My whole life changed. I have seen people with cancer. My mom has cancer. Medicines everywhere. People with mental illnesses may have to take 1 or 2 medicines. They may have to take 15 or 20. Why would they not be able to be around kids? Because I'm just saying, because I took heart medicine and other medicines, was I never allowed to be around kids? Why? If somebody you know and love takes medicines, why would they not be able to be around kids? I understand what you're saying. Right. He probably wasn't on 15 psych meds. But let me tell you a little secret about psych medications. He or anybody else who takes a medication, and even if it is a psychiatric medication, their body comes accustomed to it. And they could take something every day for years and but if I took it, it would knock me out like a horse. Different drugs, and in case you didn't know this, I know in this case, Holly, but if you didn't know this, he may have been on the same medication, maybe just one drug, that you could go to your doctor right now for, and your doctor could give you the very same medication for something totally different. It's a true story. And it could be a psychotic medication. Should you not be around kids? It's true. Ask Millie, she's a nurse. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just telling you. But because I'm just trying to be fair, because he has a mental illness. Y'all are asking me, and I'm not a doctor, but you're asking me, why should he not be around children? Well, if they had, but again, he just got out of the hospital. Supposedly, the hospital thought he was well enough to be okay. And the question is, was he did he go in the hospital on his own, or I don't know why my nose is hair on my face or something. Was he did he notice that he needed help? Or was he put in the hospital? Did he, or I'm not sure because I don't know all of that. Hello, everybody coming in. Yes, I agree. See, they shouldn't have let him out of the hospital. They should not have let him out of the hospital. So I'm not sure. Yeah, y'all don't forget to wish Millie a happy birthday. But I just think, let's see. But I don't know. I wish they would have just kept him longer. I'm just wondering if he just had a breakdown. And then too, I mean, so he was at a crossroads and checked out fine. All I'm saying is you can't mix drugs with prescriptions. No, you cannot. And you cannot mix drugs. And look, like Haley said, you can't, what if he was drinking? What if he was drinking? Hold on a minute. Well, I don't think it's a law. I don't think it's a law that they can't be around children. So I think you just need to get a little bit familiar with that. Well, bye. It's okay. Bye, Cooper. Anyway, I think you need to get familiar with a little bit of mental. It's okay, y'all. Lolly wants you to look at her post. Yeah, everybody wish her a happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I just hope that he's never getting out, in my opinion. But I hope in jail or out of jail or prison or whatever, I hope he does get the help for his mental issues, regardless. And another thing, last night I showed y'all, and this is the picture that gets me. This one, it says, family is everything. Family is everything. And that's when they were a little bit younger. And this is like when they were a little bit younger. It's just some pictures I pulled. This is when they seemed to first got married. You know, they looked, you know, they just looked like a normal family, and it's sad. And I hate it. I really, really, really hate it. Beautiful kids, and Yeah, if you've ever had violent episodes of hurting someone, you know you should not be around any children. That is correct. That is correct. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But it is sad. And let's see, I'm trying to find, I think these pictures was on this one last night. Let's see. See this one of her. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on, I want to read y'all this, but hold on. This is the one last night. No, come up. No, it won't pull the picture up. Oh, okay. But listen, this is what I wanted to read y'all. That this is what me and Haley was talking about a while ago. It says Alabama pastor wrestled gun off of his murderer grandson minutes after mom and 4 children were massacred at home as family reveal his worsening mental state. So I guess he told his grandfather he was having a worsening mental state. I'm not sure, but that's what this said. An elderly pastor wrestled a gun away from his grandson after he allegedly gunned down his wife and 4 young children. Brandon Allen Kendrick, 32, faces 5 counts of capital murder after the mass shooting at his grandfather Allen's property in rural Alabama. His wife, Kelsey Kendrick, 24, was found dead alongside their son, Caleb, 6, and Kenley, I may have said that wrong, 2, and their cousins, Colton, 8, and Haley Daniels, 6, on Thursday night. Kendrick suffered from schizophrenia, family explained to dailymail.com. How this mental state worsened in the weeks before the massacre. So, Kelsey and her children have been victims of domestic violence for years. That's what this says. Pastor Kendrick and Kelsey and the baby. Okay, listen to this. Hold on. Pastor Kendrick and Kelsey and the baby were still alive and life laid out. Passed out later. Oh no. Yes, Lady 7 Up. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So that this says right here that they have been okay. Kelsey and her children have been victims of domestic violence for years. One family member says, claiming he had a history of not taking his medication. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Hold on a minute. See, there's that picture. Uh-oh. There's that picture. Oh, I can't get it. All right. There's that picture. That's one of my favorite pictures right there. See, that's one of my favorite pictures. All right. His wife was 24 and she was found alongside Caleb, 6, and Kenley. I hope I said that right. And their 2 cousins, Colton, 8, and Haley, 6. And that was Thursday night. Now, these are the ones I showed you last night. That's them in the pool. Some of y'all wasn't here, so I'll just show you. See, that's a beautiful picture of them right there. Now, Brandon Allen, Kendrick 32, he shot his wife. I'm just going to say it like that, not the way they said it. He shot them all in the head. He gunned them down in the family garage apartment they lived in on Alan Kendrick's property. And this is about 40 miles south of Birmingham. Alan told Kelsey that grandfather Bill Morrill, how he stumbled upon the crime. So he told her grandfather, I guess, Bill Morrill, how he stumbled upon the crime and confronted his grandson. According to conversation recounted to the Daily Mail, Kelsey's uncle, Eli Morrill. The 71-year-old said he was watching, see, I haven't read this all, he was watching TV in the main house with his wife, Gay Kendrick. Now, these are the grandparents. When he heard what sounded like a gunshot, he went to investigate. Brandon came at him with the gun, and he fought it away from him. Then he walked over to the house and found out what happened. So they were surprised as everyone else. They didn't expect it, Eli said. Brandon said, "Why did you beat me up?" And Alan, now this is the pastor, the grandfather, Alan told him what he had done, and he just said, "Oh." 5 were found dead with gunshot wounds to their head, other than Haley, who was still breathing and rushed to the hospital, but did not survive. Caden was the last victim and shot outside the garage apartment, possibly while running for his life, which is how Alan heard the gunfire. Alan said the door was knocked off its hinges, almost like she had locked them out, and he broke the door down before shooting them. I'm assuming they were having some kind of argument, Eli said. Kendrick faces 5 counts of capital murder after the mass shooting. Kendrick and Kelsey lived with their children in a garage apartment on Kendrick's grandfather Alan's rural property. Alan is a pastor of Oasis of Paradise Church, pictured preaching there. So this is the grandfather. Kendrick and Kelsey lived with their grandchildren in a garage apartment, and Alan is pastor there, who is lead pastor. He is the lead pastor of Oasis Paradise Church in nearby Bessemer. He called 911, so he's the one that called. He called 911 about, now this says 8:18 p.m., and then got on the phone to Bill. Bill, you need to get down here. Brandon has shot Kelsey and all the kids in the head. Bill and his daughter Jessica, who is Colton and Haley's mother. Oh my God, can you imagine getting that call? Rushed to the property, but found it quarantined off by police as they arrived about 9 p.m. Eli said the party was held at the family patriarch Bill Morrill's house, head of Colton's 9th birthday on Tuesday. Kendrick was not at the party. He was not at the party, and his schizophrenic episodes had worsened over the previous 2 weeks, so much that Kelsey's family hadn't seen her in that time. So whatever was going on, they didn't even get to see Kelsey at that time in 2 weeks. Wow. He got to a point where he couldn't work full time. So there were financial problems from that. And she was having to take care of the kids and him. So she couldn't work either, which just made it worse, Eli said. Things were getting very difficult all the way around. She was doing her best to be a supportive wife. The one time she gets away after things had been, so bad, he wanted her back home. Kendrick's family was trying to get him on disability, which would have lessened the financial burden. Alan was watching TV in the main house with his wife, Gay Kendrick, and he heard what sounded like gunshots and went to investigate. I'm assuming that's the grandparents right there. And this is a sweet picture right here. Okay, so the shooting took place at his pastor's grandfather's property in a rural Alabama, and this is him right here too. This is the pastor right here too. So he is a pretty big man. He's a pretty big man. Alan, who was the lead pastor of Oasis Paradise Church in nearby Bessemer, called 911 about 8:18 and struggled with, him. He had schizophrenia and other mental health issues. So he had other mental health issues. Since he was 9 years old, he had a history of not taking his medications. So why did he have a history at 9 years old of not taking his medications? I don't know. And he had a history of not taking his medications. And they said his last conversation with his daughter was about his medication. Kelsey's stepfather, Joey Hammett, said, adding Kendrick was seeing a doctor. Kendrick exhibited concerning behavior in the days before the massacre, including on Thursday morning when he got his hair cut. Brandon Kendrick was just at our hair salon and got his hair cut. We have cut children's hair too, one worker at a Great Clips barber wrote online. He was acting very depressed. My coworker asked him about his family, but he just shook it off. He was going through a rough separation. So he told them he was going through a separation, and it was rough. It goes to show you never know what is going on in somebody's head. Kelsey's cousin also noticed off behavior from Kendrick. When the couple went into the vape shop she worked at on Wednesday. Now here he is with one of the kids. It shows him playing on a small dirt bike with Caleb in the yard on the rural property. And then there is the kids right there. Kinley and Caleb were killed in the massacre on Thursday night. There was also a marked change in Kelsey's social media activity over the past year, changing from speaking in glowing terms about her husband to appearing increasingly unhappy. She shared a video on June 26, captioned, "Manipulation is when they blame you for your reaction to their toxic behavior, but never discuss their disrespect that triggered you." Another video on the same day was labeled, "If you're upset because you have to let go of someone you love, listen to this." 2 minutes earlier, she reposted a video of a woman saying, "I tell people all the time when they're like, 'Oh, You're so strong. I'm like, but I have to be. I want to be fragile. A fourth image read, no one talks about the guilt you feel when you finally decide to leave someone you really love because they constantly hurt you and don't want you to change. Yet another video featured a man detailing a man playing the victim in his life will say these things to his wife. On May 2nd, Kelsey complained that she had to defend herself because no one else was. I feel like living here, they think I'm crazy. When I go off, but I don't care. Gotta get your point across somehow or forever be ran over, she wrote. And then here's another picture of them. It's an older picture. Kendrick allegedly shot Kelsey and the children less than an hour after they returned home from Colton's birthday party about 7 p.m. after he demanded she come home. April 20th included a video caption, when my husband tells me to drop the attitude that I don't actually have. And on March 5th, she shared a long post that began, this is for anyone who has suffered from an abusive narcissistic relationship. Earlier post last year included a scene from HBO drama The Bear with a character saying, I feel trapped. Kelsey's cry for help posts were marked. Contrast from earlier posts praising Kendrick. Happy birthday to my best friend. I love you so much. Here's to another year, she wrote last February in a set of happy photos. And September 22nd, Kelsey celebrated their anniversary with a sweet tribute. Happy anniversary to my person. 6 years ago, I fell for you, and 4 years ago today, we said forever and ever throughout everything. We have stuck together side by side and had 6 years and 2 beautiful babies. Later here, we are forever and ever ago. I love you so much, she wrote. On Valentine's Day that year, she wrote, thank you for being the man you are today, an amazing daddy to our babies. I wouldn't trade you for the world, and I'm blessed to call you my Valentine. Now, Kendrick's Facebook bio chillingly reads, living life and loving my wonderful wife and kids. Look at that. It is a shock, and they are grieving. I'm just trying to look at some of your comments. Yeah, he probably did. He probably did. A lot of people, a lot of kids too, do that. They don't want to take their medicine, or they will spit it out after, or the parents will find that their child is not taking it later like they're supposed to. Something like that. Colton and Haley were only at the house because their mother was having major surgery. Now this is the cousins, Colton and Haley. Their mother was having surgery, and that's why that they were there. So I can't figure out. I can't figure out. I mean, gone's gone. What he did was wrong. I mean, it was evil. It was wrong. I said it. Monstrous. I don't understand why he took any of their lives. But then again, here's two kids, I mean, that didn't even do nothing. They were just there by chance. By what did they do? None of them did anything. I don't understand any of this. They were just there because their mother was having surgery the next morning. Eli's wife, Brittany Morrow, explained that the massacre followed a last-minute decision for Kelsey to give in to Kendrick's demands one last time. All the children were supposed to spend the night at Bill's home. Brittany told Daily Mail. Brandon repeatedly begged and pleaded with her to come home, and she gave in within an hour. They all were shot in the head. Brittany explained that Colton and Haley's mother, Jessica Morrow, 35, was having major surgery the next morning, so there was no option but to send them with Kelsey. We live 45 minutes away. I wish to God they had asked us to take them for the night, she said. What we are struggling with is that it is the last minute decision to take them over there. It was never in the plan because they knew how he had been acting crazy. Kelsey's car was broken down, so Jessica dropped all 5 of them off at home on Green Tree Drive about 7 p.m. That's where all the police was that night. Police swarmed the scene late at night on Friday morning. Kelsey and Eli's niece by his older sister, who has since died, and Bill's grandfather, and the Morrow and Kendrick families have been intertwined for generations. Eli had custody of Colton and Haley from January 2021 until last November, when a judge allowed them to return to Jessica. Jessica finally got her kids back, and then this happens, Brittany said. I'm devastated and destroyed. Eli and I had full custody of them for almost 3 years, and they were my babies. Police rushed to the scene and addressed Kendrick after discovering the bodies, Bibb County Sheriff Jody Wade said. It's absolutely horrible. It's unimaginable what the family is going through, what the friends of the family are experiencing, what the community is feeling right now, he said. It was just a horrific scene that even seasoned officers told me it is the worst thing they ever seen. As officers are going, they are saying there are more children that have been shot. So as they're walking up, they're seeing more. And then they're saying there's more. There's more children. There's more children. Can you imagine the terror, the horror, the scars that they're going to have forever seeing those children? Kendrick was booked into the Bibb County Jail about 3:30 a.m. and denied bail. He is charged with 4 counts of capital murder of a child under 14 and 1 count of capital murder and the killing of 2 more people in the act. Kelsey's uncle Eli Morrow had custody of Colton and Haley, far left from right, from January 21st until last November, with the help of his wife Brittany, top left. Colton and Haley, with their uncle Eli Morrow, Oasis Paradise Church, held prayer vigil with more than 300 people on Friday night, saying proceeds from the collection plate would go to the families. Pastor wanted us to replay to all those asking if they could do anything. Tell everyone asking if they can do something that they can be at church Sunday at 10 a.m. The church wrote on its Facebook page. The church has committed to helping the families with expenses. If you would like to be a part of this effort, please give your donation to the church's benevolence fund. All donated monies will be directed towards the needs of the families. Eli Morrill started the GoFundMe page to help pay for the funerals with his wife, explaining the family didn't want the funeral at Allen's church. None of the family feel comfortable having it there. He offered to have them cremated and have a memorial at his church, but the family declined, Brittany said. But we started the fundraiser because we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay for 5 funerals. So they started the fundraiser and they want to have the fundraiser or the funerals there. And I don't know, has anybody seen any arrangements yet for the funeral? They probably haven't yet. Let me start on here and see what y'all are saying. I know, wait, what? Mine is too. This is just horrible. Let's see, hold on a minute. Well, I can tell you this much. The DA didn't find sufficient evidence of mental, and that's why he is charged with capital M, meaning premeditated also. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, do you, honey? I imagine it is. Look, I bet the whole entire state is. It's devastating for anybody that saw this. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. I know, and I'm sorry, and I'm a slow reader, and I'm like, so yeah, the more I read, it gets worse and worse, don't it? It does. Hey, honey. No, because see, and actually, I need to look up more on that. And in fact, I guess we can do that offline, or I'll try to research a little bit more of that. Because see, I just looked quickly the other day when I did that. I didn't search it deep because I couldn't find anything, and I said that in my last chat. But I'm gonna look now. Like I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper and look. Hey, rapper. Hey, honey. Thank you for letting me know. I hope you're doing good. Welcome everybody that's come in while I was reading. Yeah, they do. They always play the victims and everything. Oh, really? Okay, so I'm a little bit behind on this. Okay. He lived off her and his family, and he didn't hold a job to support his precious family. Exactly. He was like about 10 years older than her. And I'm trying to catch up with this. Smiley, I think I saw services are going to be held. Maybe Wednesday. Okay, thank you, honey. Yeah. And Millie, well, I know it's on here. I could. If you don't mind, would you send me the GoFundMe link to my messenger, if you don't mind? Because if I don't see it, I won't mentally think, but I do want to donate something to that myself. And I know I could do this and this. You know me, I'm all backwards. But I do want to do something. But yeah, I just think it's all sad. And I really I don't know. Let me double check something else. I just want to double check while we're all looking here. Oh, hold on. I just want to check my mail and make sure nobody sent me anything else. Thank you, Millie. Okay, yeah, I didn't. But one of the church people that knew him said it was hanging around the wrong people this past year. He was hanging around the wrong people this past year. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Yeah. Well, I will research it, a little bit more and see what we can find. I will definitely try to keep up with this and see what happens. Yeah, I can't imagine either. Exactly. And my prayers are with everybody. And it's horrendous for everybody involved. And I think right now they're in shock, they're grieving. I mean, the entire community. And as I just read, as I was reading it, I was thinking, and I mean, everybody has a right, but I understand because too, when one person dies, a lot of people bickers back and forth, and you think about, and it's nonsense. Sometimes a death can pull you together or it can bring you apart, but you always sometimes got that one or two people in the family and I'm not saying that in this case, I'm just saying, or not because of what I read, but it just always usually happens. And then it's sad. You got 5 people deceased here, 5. And 4 of them are children, babies. All of this was senseless. And everybody's hurt on both sides. And then you got, understandably, it's not the grandparents' fault, and they are still going to love their grandchild. They're still going to love it. And they loved they're in a bad situation. They loved their great grandchildren as well. And then you got Eli and them. They were offered to have the services at the church. And I understand their point of view. I understand their point of view. They're thinking it would be a cold day in hell. How are they supposed to trust that? And that's their right. But it's not, in my opinion, their fault as far as they're not to blame for their grandson's actions. But I will say this. We really don't know what went on behind the scenes. So again, I can't blame anybody for the way they feel. I've always said we can't tell somebody how to feel. Yeah, life is fragile. This is fragile. And it's sad. It happened Thursday night. Life can change in the very blink of an eye. You can be at a birthday party one minute, at your home sweet home the next. And your whole family wiped out in the next. Everybody you just left, told goodbye, made plans with, see you later, love you, see you later, kiss my butt, see you later. Just let them play with your Nintendo, keep the birthday cake, we'll get the cake tomorrow. We'll find your jacket later. We'll get the beach towel tomorrow. Oh, I should have hugged this one. I meant to tell so-and-so bye. Too late. I can shut this down, and I may never see, speak, or hear from y'all again. You may never see, hear, or type to me again. Life can change. This is sad, y'all. This is sad. Keep those families and friends in that community in your prayers. That's right. Don't take life for granted. And I'll try to keep y'all updated on everything that I find out. Be the reason that somebody smiles. If you know somebody needs help with mental illness or anything, don't treat them like they got the plague. And try not to blame others for somebody else's actions. People can't control what others do. I am so sorry, country crickets. Prayers to you, honey. I'm so sorry. That had to be so hard. If y'all need to get a hold of me, you can email me. And, excuse me, you can email me. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. But again, I would like to keep up with this case. Any information you get, let me know. And I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all you do. And I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for spending it with me. God bless you all.